Alright ladies, choosing a man to spend the rest of your life with is an important decision, right? And you don't want to rush it and make a mistake that you will regret for the rest of your life. Well, that's what I'm here for today, to save you from heartache, drama and endless chaos. Trust me, you want to take notes and also share this with your friends. Let's dive in and uncover the 5 types of men you should never ever date or marry. Alright, so let's kick things off with a topic that might surprise you, and that is the high value man, low value partner. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute Ismail, isn't a high value man exactly who I should be looking for? Well, not necessarily. You see, just because a guy has achieved immense success in his career or personal life doesn't automatically make him a great partner. So let's say that you come across a man who's incredibly accomplished, financially stable and respected in his field. On paper, he seems like the dream catch, right? But here's the thing, success and accolades as an individual don't always translate into being an equally valuable partner in a relationship. It's important to understand that a high value man can be a low value partner if he doesn't invest the same level of effort, time and emotional availability into the relationship. Sometimes, these individuals can become so focused on their own success that they neglect the romantic relationships or struggle with, balancing their priorities. So how can you spot this potential pitfall? Pay attention to how he treats you and the relationship. Does he make you a priority? Is he willing to put in the effort to nurture and grow the connection? Look for qualities like emotional intelligence, empathy, and commitment to a healthy partnership. Remember that it's not about dismissing successful men altogether. It's about finding someone who values and invests in the relationship as much as you do. Don't settle for someone who sees you as an afterthought, no matter how impressive the resume is. I believe that it's best to be with someone that has less but works hard and sacrifices more than someone who has it all but gives back very little. The second type of man that you should think twice about dating or marrying is the goddess widower. Now you might be wondering, what on earth is a goddess widower, right? Well, let me break it down for you. This is a man who was once deeply in love with his ex. He treated her like an absolute goddess, showering her with affection, attention, and adoration, but unfortunately, things didn't work out and she left him. Now, here's where it gets tricky. The goddess widower tends to compare every new relationship to the one that he had with his ex. He holds on to the memories of his past love and constantly measures every single new potential partner, against her. Now, don't get me wrong, it's completely natural to have certain expectations based on past experiences, right? But when those expectations become unrealistic or they overshadow the chance for a genuine connection, it becomes a red flag. It's unfair to you, as you deserve to be loved and valued for who you are, not compared to someone else from his past. One of my friends got cheated on by his ex once and he was so devastated, and I saw him go date after date, sleeping around with different women and ghosting them, and he was so unhappy and making these other women unhappy that I told him, bro, you need some time for yourself, stop messing around. And it was all because he was trying to replace what he had with his ex. So if you come across a man that was dumped by his ex recently, proceed with caution. Remember, you deserve a love that is built on the present and future, not one that is constantly haunted by the past. As a woman, one of your superpowers is your healing abilities, which means that quite often you'll attract partners that are wounded or emotionally unavailable. But when you encounter someone who doesn't appreciate you or values your efforts, a part of you will feel that you failed as a woman, and you keep trying while neglecting your well-being. Because when you take care of yourself, you don't feel needed, do you? Because there's no one else. So that longing to connect and heal others will make you keep giving to the point that they'll drain your energy and diminish your self-worth. The third type of man on our list is the guy that wants to change you, which I like to call the molding guy. I'm sure many of you ladies have or will come across this type of man in your lifetime. So let's say that you meet a guy who seems to like you, but there's a catch. He's constantly nitpicking and seeing flaws in you, low-key criticizing you and wanting to change you. because the molding guy believes that he has the power to mold you into his ideal partner. He's always pointing out what he perceives as your shortcomings, as if you need fixing. But here's the truth, it's not about you, it's about him. This man wants to change you to fill in all the gaps and insecurities that he feels about himself. No matter how hard you try, you'll never be able to please him enough. He'll always find, something else to criticize or some other aspect to mold. It's like chasing a moving target, and trust me, it's an exhausting and soul-crushing endeavor. And a quick confession is that I've been this man in the past, and I know it drove some of my exes insane. And I've done, a lot of work of self-love and self-acceptance because I was projecting a lot of my own insecurities into the woman that was standing by my side. However, I strongly believe in self-improvement and working on your physique, your intellect and life goals, but learn to embrace your uniqueness and find someone who appreciates and supports you exactly for who you are. So you meet someone who seems a little too eager, showering you with excessive love and attention right from the first date. You see them go all out to win you over. But here's the thing, when that initial infatuation fades away, they might start treating you like everyone else, and you feel that you're doing something wrong because you see him pulling away. Love bombers are fueled by a desperate desire to conquer and gain someone's affection. But once he gets you hooked, once he realizes that you're just a regular human being with flaws and imperfections, he might become disappointed or disillusioned. They prefer the adrenaline that comes from that initial chase rather than the gradual connection that builds over time. So when you encounter a love bomber, avoid it like a bad haircut. Enjoy the excitement and attention, but also stay grounded in reality. True love is built on more than just grand gestures and intense infatuation. It takes time, effort, and a genuine acceptance of each other's flaws. The final type of man that you should avoid at all costs is the entitled man. He's the type who believes that he deserves it all, right? He carries an air of entitlement and expects to receive everything without having to make any sacrifices for you or the relationship. Now, this sounds quite obvious to identify, but this is how he gets away with it, okay? And that is by dismissing your needs. They might say things like, why do you keep asking for things? Or you're so needy. When they make you feel guilty for asking for your needs, you accept whatever is given to you. And since you're probably an empath like a lot of women are, the relationship turns, one-sided, where you give and give until he drains the life out of you. So always look at their actions instead of their words. And I know that you probably heard this before, but here's the essence behind it. Saying things like, I like you, you're amazing, takes me no effort, right? But taking an action to prove that I care about you requires time and energy. And keep this in mind. Usually people say words to get something from you, or they take action to give something to you. And you'll see that the entitled man will constantly struggle to match his words with his actions. Alright, so that's the video for today, and I know the question that a lot of you are thinking is, well, Ismail, what if I love one of those guys? Don't people change? And I give you the example of me being the molding guy, right? And that's one of the reasons I've been single for the past 7 months, because I realized that I had to work on that aspect of myself, and I still do today. But many of us don't take the time to self-reflect. We stay in a relationship driving our partners mad until everything crumbles. So there's only 2 ways that you can hope he changes, okay? Number 1 is that you see he's self-aware of his own behavior. And number 2 is that you see him take massive action to improve in that area because he cares about you and the relationship that you both share. And by the way, that also applies to you, because I know that many times it's easy to point the finger at someone, but when I tell most of my clients, something about themselves, they get so rigid and want to just keep talking about their partner because it's easier than, analyzing themselves. But remember what I always say, that for your relationships to change, you need to change. So have a beautiful day.